Good evening, Facebook family. Happy March to everyone. Um, I'm recording this because I'm not going to be doing too many lives in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to have mostly recorded things because we've had a lot going on in our family. As you know, that my 102-year-old grandmother had her home going. Those who've been following along. But as soon as we got back, my brother-in-law, William Johnson, passed away. So our family has been going through a lot of things, and I think everyone who's followed along and who's given us their prayers and their love, I want you to know that we really appreciate it. Thank you. Let me get started with our mystery because we can't let March get too far in before we talk more about Bitzy Brown. Now, as you know, when you go back in the story, Bitzy Brown was a manager, but before she was a manager, Bitzy Brown was also a nurse and a physical therapist. In fact, her little niece, Till, was one of her first patients. She took care of Till after a serious accident that left her not being able to walk. In that car was her brother, Michael Brown, and her godson, whose name is Benz Alexander. Benz is short for Benjamin. Benz and Till were inseparable. Michael's other children were two sets of twins, Rose and Violet, and Ebony and Ivory. And Till was right in between. The accident caused Till not to be able to walk for a while. And Benjamin, nothing happened to him. He really blamed himself. So he stuck really close to Till. And Aunt Bitzy, what she did for them was awesome. She brought the two together because Till was really in a lot of pain as she was healing, and Benz wanted to help her, and so they started doing mysteries together. And Bitzy would give them clues, and they would have to follow them to find whatever she wanted them to find. It was often a treat for them. Bitzy at the time lived on a little farm out in North Carolina, and the children would go and ramble around, and they would find things, beautiful things sometimes in adventures of finding the things that Aunt Bitzy had for them, they would find other things. And it wound up with Till being really good at researching things and finding out information. And Ben's, he did the legwork. It wound up being this awesome adventure for these two children. But it also led to both of them in great career paths. For Till, she became a researcher. Really good researcher too. Well known, wanted by several governments, although she refused to work for foreign governments. She only worked for her own. And as for Benz, he became a mystery writer. A very well sought after mystery writer. And he and Till still collaborated from time to time. But this time, Aunt Bitzy needed them. She sent packages to both Benz and to Till. You'll find out a little bit more about those packages a little later as you find out more about her jewelry collection. You see, that Bitzy Brown, she loved her bling more than you know. Oh, and the Bling sisters, they're connected to Bitzy too. You see, when Bitzy finally helped her little niece do better, she decided to go back to working on the road and becoming a manager. See, she was a singer at first, and then she wanted to manage acts. And she had a friend named Fern who had 4 little girls. Now, Fern was married to a man named Malcolm Bling. Malcolm Bling was a multimillionaire, and he loved his Fern, but Fern wound up having cervical cancer. So she asked her friend, Bitzy Brown, to come and help with her daughters with their career, knowing that she was ill and that she could pass away at any time. Now, Malcolm at first was a little bit hesitant about having Bitzy around, but after Fern died, Malcolm fell in love with Bitzy and asked Bitzy to marry him. For many years, Bitzy refused. Then, love took over, and she was engaged to Malcolm. And then Malcolm himself was killed in a tragic accident. Bitzy then took over taking care of the 4 sisters, loving up on them and being the foster parent that the children really needed. She stayed with them until all of them were 21 before Bitzy disappeared. Remember that fact as the mystery goes on. Oh, and by the way, I'm still selling bling. If you check out my post, you'll see some of the bling that I have to sell. Then you'll find out some of the bling that's in our mystery. I'll see you on Saturday, hopefully live. Love to you all. Mwah. Enjoy the bling.